You have to have access to get into production areas, so that's why this is all secure and locked up. And welcome to the noise. So I don't know if we've got enough big size ones for the big guy over there, but that's the biggest one we have, so hopefully that's gonna fit you. So down here, you think of the production as taking what they've done upstairs in making flavor formulas, and you're just gonna do that same thing on a very large scale down here. So we'll show you how we mix up the ingredients, then how we spray dry flavors, and then also some dry blend for beverage support. There's your hairnet. Everything that's produced down here has been engineered and formulated up in the flavor lab. So once it's formulated, they're going to come down here and do the same thing, just on a large scale. And so over here, they're actually weighing out all the aroma chemicals, raw materials, everything to make that core key flavor component. Once they've got that made, they're going to come over here and turn that into a slurry. 500 to 600 gallons of slurry is what they're making. Yeah. So you're also going to mix in the carrier of the flavor. So whether that's like gum acacia, maltodextrin, tapioca starch, you're going to mix that in. You're going to make a slurry. It goes through a homogenizer, which you can kind of see the homogenizers are down under here. So right back in there, you can see the homogenizer. It forces all the liquid through there at a very high pressure, and then that makes all the particles the same size.
Right.
Then it goes into a holding tank, and then it's pumped up on top to an atomizer up on top. So that's how you go from the initial weigh out of those aroma chemicals. You make a slurry, you pump it up to the top, you atomize it, and then you collect the powder out of the bottom. When you talk about scale, obviously you can see it's best to keep these things running, because it takes more time just to set it up and clean it down than it does to actually run the flavor. Yeah, so these are capable of doing, all of these are about 500 to 600 gallon tanks through here. And so, you know, you can do that much powder. That's roughly about 800 to 1,200 pounds of powder you're going to get out of a batch. This whole area is already designed to be even larger spray dryers than these. So we keep our capacity ahead of production so that we don't ever run out of capacity.
Right.
So this is basically a kit. So if you looked at this right here, this is getting ready to go into here. So you've got all your carriers. In this case, it's a maltodextrin flavor. Then you're going to have your keys in the buckets. So they're going to take all this stuff, hydrate it in the tank, which that's actually a mixing tank. It goes into the mixing tank, then it goes through the homogenizer, then it comes in here, and then it's ready to get pumped up to the top. So right now they're weighing out all the kits here. These are for the base components of the spray dries that they're making, or for the dry blends. And we're going to head into dry blending right now. Yeah, so in here, they're just discharging a load. And so right now, they've basically made a batch that's about 10,000 pounds of powder. They're taking all the raw materials. They're collecting all the garbage. They actually keep the garbage until the batch is done to make sure that we yield the right amount. And so that's one of the processes for keeping things clean and going. So when we were Genesis, Scott ran like all of the production area over there. So made millions of pounds of powders. We did a couple million pounds of powder every month over there that we were also making the finished goods. Now we're just taking, we're still making lots of powder, but we're just making basically super sacks. So sacks of 800 to 1,000 pounds, depending on the density of the product. So we can do R&D, that's what the small blender's for, and then scale it up to a 15 cubic foot, and then go all the way up to this where you can do, you know, up to 15,000 pounds. And so that's what we do with these kits, is put all those ingredients together, we weigh them out, send that to the manufacturer, so they just take this, plop it in their tanks, follow the batching record, and make the whole product. That way they keep their really expensive, high-speed lines just cranking out cans.
Yeah.